Hello everyone and welcome to Sunburned Albino Plays Darkest Dungeon. You may notice that my roster is in different shape than it was when you last saw it, and not in like a cohesive way where you saw why it is that that's the case. I played an episode that you'll never get to see because there was a recording error, and that's why 2 of my units are level 5, one of them is super stressed out. But, yeah. I mean, that's basically it. That's all I can tell you. If you want to know, like, I did do that Necromancer mission again, basically. It was, like, the exact same thing. And it worked out pretty much the exact same way. But, here, we've got Frementin, Palutena, Roselia, and Reynold here. 2 vessels in the back yet again. That are going to, that make up, because they're pretty much the only ones we have left that are level 3. And so we're going to do a short veteran mission to try to, you know, level them up a bit. I should only have to do 8 foods, so I'm going to take 12. And we're going to the ruins. There's no reason to bring bandages. There's not much reason to bring anti-venom. But I am going to bring 2 medicinal herbs, 2 skeleton keys, and 2 holy waters. And then we'll just have that be that. Embark! I am raking in quite a lot of cash, and I am very excited about the implications with which I may be able to buy new things. Because I am starting to upgrade the Nomad wagon, where you can buy trinkets. So maybe one of these days there will be a good one there. And, yeah, essentially. So we don't have to go to this room that's all the way to the right if we do a snaking motion that way. And then we'll be totally fine. Pretty much in all regards to do everything at all. Anything we want to do. Medicinal herbs go in the Iron Maiden. Allowing a thorough search of fasting. I already have that one. And I don't really like it that much, but, you know. I mean, it's a neat little trinket to swap out when your units have to starve, because then if you put it on one of them, then they won't eat the food, and they won't get stressed out. So it's a nice little, you know, sort of cheesy way to eat a little less food than you have to. That is a great way to start an episode. All right. Yeah, I would say Dazzle. Dazzle, one of the units in the middle there. And it was the correct one. Bump in the Night is not really a big deal. That Quarrel got the lowest roll it probably could have, so that's cool as well. How about we do some judgment action here? And I'm rolling the same dual back vessel thing that I had before. One of them has Illumination, and the other one has Dazzling Light. So, yes, sir. Collect bounty. Crit. Max damage roll, though, is good. Not terrible. All right. Now, Palutena doesn't synergize as well with the Bounty Hunter as she does with the Highwayman with point-blank shot and whatnot. But I can still use Lunge. God damn, she's good. I can still use Lunge to bring myself up and put our Bounty Hunter in the second spot, which would make no discernible difference whatsoever, except for he'd actually be able to use Flashbang. But he doesn't really use Flashbang anyway, so it really doesn't matter. I don't know. I guess I could, like, lunge with the Get out of my screen. I could lunge with the Grave Robber on the first turn every time. Ooh, finish him. Oh, I like it a lot. I could lunge with the Grave Robber on the first of every turn, and then put them in a position where, like, maybe I could use Flashbang to disorient them. Like, the Shuffle is even, like, a little bit more valuable than the Stun in certain instances. If Mace Bash on vessels could be used from the third spot, I would have that over Illumination. Because Illumination counteracts, like, me trying to, like, have the torch be dark. So, you know, by lighting it. Let's try a key. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and this time it worked. Pretty nice. Downwards we go. Okay. Oh, and they're surprised. Which is interesting, because I was a little bit surprised at that. Let's kill ourselves a gladiator before he can inflict some nasty bleed. Oh, I can only lunge from the third spot? I didn't know that. Alright, fair. Fair enough. Is that new? I feel like I've lunged from the second spot all the time. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what the deal with that is. But let's start tearing ass on this slavering ghoul, shall we? 70% chance to stun overall seems okay. I resisted it, fine. Unfortunate, because I could have finished him, and then it probably would have done that much damage without the crit. Oh well. Judgment yet again. Because I don't want to use Illumination, because our torch just keeps going up. Dazzling Light makes the torch go up as well, and I'm aware of that, but, you know, I'd rather just you have the one move that does it rather than two. Yeah, okay, bye-bye. Palutena's got really great moves. Like, I really underestimated the Grave Robber at first. Part of the reason I thought she did so little damage was because I had the two Grave Robber talismans equipped on her that really upped her dodge but really lowered her damage. So, that is how that worked out. But yeah, she's very, very good. I just wish Lunge could be used in the second slot. That would be my only fix. Not really fix, but like, you know, buff, I guess.
How quickly the tide turns.
Sorry, tide has not turned. All you did was switch my healers around and crit for 8 damage, which is not a lot at all. So, we're gonna Judgment. Okay. And I kind of want to just throw a dagger at you. Yeah, you'll die. Nice. Very nice. And yeah, we get +8 accuracy every time we land throwing dagger, which is crazy good. Feel free to Judgment one of these guys. How about the Veteran? He can do some nasty damage sometimes. Not often, but that wasn't the worst. That was kind of bad. Doesn't really matter. I do kind of want to flashbang and just like screw them all up. Oh my god. Fine. Fine, I see how it is. And Shadow Fade would be a waste of return, so we'll just kill the Veteran. And Judgment the Noble. Or don't, because his dodge stat is unholily high. Alright, let's... You know, our bounty hunter's been taking a beating. We should tend to him. And he's still taking a beating. They really want to kill him. But they are not going to be able to, unfortunately. Unfortunately for them. Finally a hit. Okay. Reynold. Heal some of that nice damage on our bounty hunter for you. For me, thank you. Okay. But the reason you don't want Grave Robber in the first slot is because she can't use Thrown Dagger. So, there's just a lot of intricacies involved with, like, making sure everybody's in the right positions. And why certain, things just aren't going to work as well as you would think that they would. I like that crit, and I like that stun, and I like that move. And now we can finish him for some neat little amount of damage there. And how about a Judgment? Self-heal ourselves into the opposite of Oblivion. And make sure that nobody's getting too low. And he is going to be dead before he can make what the fuck? He's going to be dead before he can make another move. Terrific.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
I really don't need to remind myself of that. It's kind of just emblazoned in my mind. Alright, these guys are gonna mega die. We've got no AoE attacks, unfortunately. Throw a dagger there. And collect bounty on the one in the front. And then our last vessel will be able to mop up this kill. Alright, that just leaves our Bone Marksman, who maybe isn't that fast and we can kill him before he attacks. Perhaps, especially if I decide to stun him, which I'm gonna do. It's the safer thing to do. And party heal just because you can, I guess. And Judgment. Alright, very good.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
You know what wouldn't be terrible is having one of our vessels with Mace Bash in the second slot. Problem is Judgment can't be used from that slot, and neither can Divine Grace, but Party Heal can. It's just not the best. It's not the best place for a vessel to be. I don't remember what all of her abilities are, but I'm pretty sure none of them besides Mace Bash really benefit from being in the front. At least more than they would from any other position they could be in when they use them. This is a super encounter-heavy mission, I gotta say. This is what is like our 5th fight in 3 rooms? Well, 4. No, 3, because the first one doesn't count. Okay, that's a good start. And we should be able to throw a dagger at him to finish him off. In which case, we'll collect bounty on the conscript in the front. Spread our damage out wisely while we focus on killing who we can kill. Thrown dagger, goodbye. Wow, he might have died even without Judgment's help. In fact, I think he would have. Stun the hell out of our marksman friend. Then we'll finish the hell out of our marksman friend. Oh, yes! He was bluffing. He very, very much was bluffing. Does anybody actually need health? 2 of you do. And now everybody's at full. Except Roselia, but who gives a shit? Judgment. And now we will finish him. Very, very good.
These nightmarish creatures,
yeah, I need those crests.
they can be
I'm gonna get rid of Fasting Seal, because I don't really like it as a trinket at all. Except for those instances in which I mentioned, but really it's not worth bringing along. It just has mild usefulness if you find yourself stuck with it during a mission.
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Alright. Big shelf. Who's gonna get a parasitive quirk? Oh, it's just a map. We already have a map. So that was hella sweet. I'm gonna take a drink of water. Okay. Holy water is for use on the decorative urns, and that will earn us... I didn't even know I did that! Oh my goodness, the punnage!
Carried home.
Oh god. Seer Satchel... Oh, so that's why you have -1 speed. I really would not recommend taking 2 of those. I kind of just want to leave that one behind. So we will. And it is now dark.
Closes in, haunting the hearts of men.
Good quirk, please. Good quirk. Misses the spot does not sound good. -1. Oh, that who gives it? That makes no difference at all. That's totally fine. The difference between 17% and an 18% crit, not that big a deal, gotta say. And it's actually 14 and 15, but that makes even less of a deal. Actually, it makes a little bit more of a deal, but not much more of a deal. Like, hardly any more of a deal. Go ahead and eat those foods so you can take those busts. And there is nothing between that room and this room. Eat the food that we brought. Nobody needs any sort of healing, so we're just doing real good here. A pack laden with loot. Laden with a shit ton of loot. Alright. We'll get rid of medicinal herbs. I don't imagine an Iron Maiden coming very soon. And good, it was a crate. Instead. With a nice amount of stashed deeds, stashed heirlooms. In which case, now we'll get rid of the skeleton key. Because there is no more loot to be acquired as we are now leaving. I do kind of want to let go all the... Yeah, I'm gonna visit that last room. The odds that it's a room battle that has treasure in it are just too good for me to pass up right now. And even though... Which one are you? Roselia is getting a bit stressed out. You know. The Abbey will surely take care of that. As it always does. And we have an encounter. That decided to pop up right in front of us. Ow. Oh, that was a lot of stress. Oh, maybe she'll become abusive again. It wasn't her that was abusive last time. That was something that happened in the episode that I wasn't able to record. But, yeah. Oh, yes! That uncomplicates things so severely. Oh, terrific. We're just gonna Judgment. I prefer to keep the light at 0. At black as pitch. So our crit percentage can keep going up here. Yeah. Just keep judgmenting for the damage. Collect bounty. 20% chance to crit. Should happen with relative regularity. And 27 for us is real nice. I'm gonna throw a dagger at you. Buff our accuracy a bit. Still no crits. But that's totally okay. Rend is gonna be a blight. And it did, in fact, blight. 3 damage, 3 rounds. It's annoying, but not detrimental. We don't have any antivenom. But who gives a shit? We're gonna heal you back for about half the damage you took there. I should have done it the other way around, because then Judgment would have healed our vessel that we used to use it. But who cares in the grand scheme of things when we get crits like that?
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
I'm gonna get rid of the holy water. I'm keeping the shovel because there could very easily be blockage between this room and the next one. Okay, instead we have an alchemy table, which we don't have medicinal herbs for, so I kind of just want to ignore it. Which is why I did. Alright, we've only got a bit more food left, so we're going to have our bounty hunter eat the last 2 remaining things. Oh, I should have gotten rid of bandages instead of whatever I got rid of before that. Also, there's nothing here, so...
The great ruins belong to us, and we will find whatever secrets they hold.
Indeed, we will. There was, like, no loot gained on that mission at all. Gold-wise, yes. Heirlooms, not very at all. But Palatine is level 4 now, so that's neat. Zoophobia sucks. Backtracker makes no difference, really, most of the time. Faithless sucks for you. Well, I know. Kind of identify with it. It just lowers your options, shall we say. Reynolds got rabies again, so that's neat. And then Fear of Mankind, Gifted the Healer. You know, it's like rabies is the new syphilis. Just keeps popping up, flaring up in places where you don't want it. I can't think of a place where you would want syphilis, but... what the shit? I missed the... Shit, okay, tell me. Something happened with Arundel, because he has a big question mark on his head. Oh, he went on a vision quest. What an asshole. You and your delusions. Now we can't use you in the next mission. Not that I really, like, was surely going to, but it would have been a nice... It would have been... You give me the nice option to. That would have been... Yeah. Alright. 5 people, and not a single one of them are... I don't really know what else. I could use another Plague Doctor, perhaps. Like, I've only got one. And he's very, very high leveled. For the third slot, Noxious Blast. You know, if I'm rolling, like, the Blight... the exclusively Blight skill set and, like, not putting Incision on him, he can work in the back spot. In fact, he works perfectly in the back spot. Which would free up the third slot for a Grave Robber, which would be a nice place for it to be. And you are a Grave Robber. And you've got Lunge, Flashing Daggers. Flashing Daggers, which is a good move, there's just too many other good moves that I have to have instead. Yeah. If Throne Dagger could hit the unit in the front, then we wouldn't need Pick to the Face. And then we could take Flashing Daggers instead. Poison Dart is actually, like, probably pretty good. But I don't use it. Not for any particular reason, but I just don't. Poison Dart could be really good. But Throne Dagger can be used in the second slot, which is why it's better than Poison Dart. In my personal opinion, at that point, off of, you know, the very, very small observations that I got to make regarding it. Roger has Daemon's Pull, Hands from the Abyss, Vulnerability, Hex, and Word Construction. None of those are really my thing, especially Hands from the Abyss only being activatable in the first and second spot. That seems kind of counterproductive to what your whole strategery is about. But you've got good moves. Stanley, this Crusader, does. Emery has the Battle Heal, which is okay. Probably if you level it up a bunch, it'll be even better than okay. But really, none of these guys strike my fancy a lot. So that is my final word on that situation. And let's go to the Nomad Wagon, because we've got a bitch ton of gold, and I want to spend it. Plus 10 accuracy, plus 3% crit is not worth minus 12 dodge, in my opinion. Book of Holiness is not good at all. Like, that's such little bit of a stress resist to, and I don't like it. And it's not, like, dynamic enough. It doesn't affect the action as much as I would want it to. And Unholy Slayer's Ring is too much of a trade-off. Haste Chalice for Vessels is absolute garbage with that super hit to damage. Maybe it would be neat if I was rolling a healer that specifically only healed and could, like, get people off death's door at the beginning of each turn, but that's kind of very situationally exclusive. So I would think that I would not give a shit enough to actually have planned that. You got lots of deeds, lots of busts, but not quite enough busts to make that work. And I wouldn't really want to anyway. Whereas we've upgraded everything in the Abbey except the Penance Hall, which I'm still leaving alone because there's no need. At no point are you ever going to have to de-stress more than 4 units per turn. Like, that's just, there's no reason for that to happen. Which means there's really nothing left to upgrade. Let's embark and see, like, what would be next. They want me to kill the Necromancer Lord again, but that's Champion 5, so that's fine. They want me to kill the Hag on Veteran level again, which is interesting. And then they also have the Champion Hag Witch, which is super annoying. And I've only got 2 Champion level guys anyway, and once they get to level 5, you can't upgrade their skills or nothing anymore regardless, because they're already all at max level. So really the difference between level 5 and level 4 is that the enemies get a lot tougher, and that's it. You don't get to level up with them, which is super not cool. What about you, Gand? What is this? Oh yeah, Hellions Hairpin. That's right, it looks different because they added more trinket art. Plus 50% damage, plus 5% crit. That's very good. Plus 50% chance to bleed skills, plus 10% damage. I mean, you got if it bleeds. An Adrenaline Rush is probably good if I ever decided to actually use it. I usually don't decide to do that. Like, if I get blighted or bled, then maybe I'll use it to cure and be, like, a buff. But other than that, like, I'd rather just do an attack twice rather than Adrenaline Rush and then do that same attack. No, it's interesting. So if I was gonna do... Because we would do an apprentice level mission next. Because some of these guys, I've not used these guys in, like, months, essentially. Not Guideville. Guideville, I should just fire right away just because I hate him. But he's really the only healer we've got. I would like to use somebody like Tourlaville, and Moncel, and Brettville, and Gand, and Holy Lance. Really, all these guys, I can't bring them all with me, though. And you can't really effectively, or at least very effectively... that's not true at all. The Hellion is totally fine in the second spot. Which is good for somebody with point-blank shot like Tourlaville to be able to move around as he would. So then we'd have, like, you in the first slot, you in the second slot, and then we'd have, like, Brettville in the third slot? Maybe? And, like, Guideville? No, Guideville in the third slot, and then Brettville in the fourth slot. I don't know, are these Villes... I don't know. I mean, that's all, you know, for a later episode. So that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.